What if I told you every single year, toppers gain 15 to 20 marks by just guessing the correct option without knowing the answer of those particular questions in physics and NEET examination? Sir, is it true? 100% true. I will give you the proof today. Proof from the NEET 2025 paper, which was the toughest paper in the NEET history. So from that particular paper, I am going to show you scientifically how you can guess the correct option of so many questions without knowing the answer of those particular questions. So my dear NEET aspirants, this is very important because when it comes to the NEET examination, this is not the exam which only checks your knowledge. This is the exam which checks how much smart you are, how smart, how efficient you are. So that's why today I will be taking the NEET 2025 paper. And from that paper itself, we will be guessing the correct options scientifically with the proof. Make sure you watch this video till the end because this is definitely going to help you to gain 15 to 20 marks. And my dear NEET aspirants, 15 to 20 marks, I would say, carries a huge weightage. So my dear NEET aspirants, this can help you to gain a good rank. This can help you to enter the medical college in the upcoming time. So watch the video till the end and listen to me very carefully. The first method that I would mention over here, that is method number one. Method number one. And this method is basically applicable to the numerical values only. Okay. 90% this method is efficient. And my dear NEET aspirants, what is this? Extreme values aren't usually answer. Extreme values aren't usually the answer. Extreme values mean, let me just show you the question itself. There was a question asked in NEET 2025. This is the question. Let's assume you don't know the answer of this question. We'll not be reading this particular question. What are the extreme values? Extreme values means lowest value and the highest value. What is the lowest value over here? 0. What is the highest value over here? That is 84. Lowest is 0, highest is 84. So answer has to be between 1 and 2. Now tell me, let's check the answer of this particular question. Answer is 21. So means it is working in the option in question number 1, which was asked in NEET 2025. Okay, let's move on to the question number 2. Now this question was also asked in NEET 2025, my dear NEET aspirants. Now if you check, these are the options. What is the lowest value over here? Extreme values. What is the lowest? I would say lowest in this particular case is 0.33. What is the highest? I can see highest is, we say 1.5. So answer has to be either, I would say, second or fourth. Let's check which one is the answer in this particular case. Answer is 0.66. That is 0.66. Which one? Which one? That is second. Means it is working here also. Let's move on to the next one. This was the question asked in NEET 2025 once again. Now, if you check over here, what is the lowest? Lowest is, I would say, 0.8. And what is the highest in this particular case? That is 1.5. So answer should be either 2 or I would say 3. Let's check what is the answer to this question. That is 1.0 in this particular case. That is option 2. Means this is working over here also. Let's move on to the next question. I'm showing you NEET 2025 questions. Okay. Next question over here. This is also NEET 2025. If you check in this particular case, my dear NEET aspirants, what is the extreme lowest? Extreme lowest, 1.25. What is the highest over here? That is 1.66. So answer should be either 1 or I would say 2. Answer is 1.66. That means answer is over here. Highest is this one. Okay. Yes. In this particular case, option 3 is the answer. Means here it is not working. Yes, it is not working here. Why? Because my dear NEET aspirants, I told you it is 90% efficient. I have deliberately put up this particular example also so that you get to understand in this particular case, this method. I have given you 4 questions before this. So means it is 90% efficient. Means in some questions, it cannot be the correct option. Let's move on to the method 2. Method 2 is, I would say, extreme statements are usually wrong. Extreme statements, and this method is basically applicable in, I would say, assertion, reason, statement based questions. Let me just tell you extreme values. Extreme statements means always. Okay. and I would say never. These are what we call extreme statements. Let's move on to the question over here. This is the assertion. According to the Newton's laws, a body can never remain at rest if a force is acting on it. Never. We saw the word never over here. We say usually, guys, if you ask me, sir, is it 100% this will be the answer? Array, not 100%. That's why we are saying guessing. We are guessing the correct option. Okay. So in this particular case, it says never word is extreme. Never words used over here. I would say A is false because we say extreme statements are usually wrong. So in this particular case, I can say this is false. Okay, A is false, and in this particular case, I would say yes, A is false and R is true. And we know that, my dear NEET aspirants, a body remains at rest only when net external force acting on it is zero. Okay, net external force has to be zero, then the body remains at rest. So I can say in this particular case, this is false. Why? Because we saw extreme statement, extreme word over here. Then, in an alternating circuit, the current and voltage are always, means which option? I would say it has to be wrong. And we know in an alternating circuit, we have studied this, my dear NEET aspirants. We say resistance, voltage across the resistance and current are in the same phase. Okay, so I would say in this particular case, option D. So let's check over here. Option D is the correct option over here. I believe this is also clear. Let's move on to the method number 3, my dear NEET aspirants. This is the method 3. Method 3 means options having common info are most likely the answers. Options having common info, same info. Like, my dear NEET aspirants, if you have 1, 2, 3, 4. If let's suppose you see second and third and second option are having common info, common details, then usually 90% chances are there that option will be between these two only. Okay, so it is basically the simple logic we can use over here. When we make the paper, let's suppose we have one option which we feel is correct. Answer is, let's suppose y is equal to a sine of omega t plus cos x, something like that. Okay. So my dear NEET aspirants, let's suppose this is the option. This is the correct option. We will be making rest of the options based on this option only. Okay. So some options may be matching with this correct option. So that's why we say those options which are usually matching will be the correct options. Like this was the question over here. This is the question from NEET 2025. If you check over here. Now see, this is the option first. Here magnetic field in y direction. Magnetic field in X, magnetic field in Z, magnetic field in Y. If you check these two, we said these are similar. These are similar. This is magnetic field along Y, magnetic field along Y. Even in some questions, the rest of the detail will be also similar. So chances are there that these two will be the answer. Answer will be from these two. Now, in this particular case, correct option is A option. Okay. I hope you got these three options. My dear NEET aspirants, you see, this is the answer. So, my dear NEET aspirants, these are the ways by which you can, I would say, gain marks even if you don't know the answer of certain number of questions. Okay. This can help you in certain number of questions. Okay. So, my dear NEET aspirants, thank you so much. Take care and bye-bye. See you guys. Make sure you smash the like button and you share it with your friends also. Take care and bye-bye.